With the first 3 chapters covered, we now start getting into looking at the strategies that a good enough parent can provide. And the idea that whatever strategies you choose, it's how you do them, it's the approach you take that will likely make them be successful or not. And so, looking at this within the book, there's this idea that we can approach the strategies in a mammal-human way or a more reptile way. And that when it comes to strong emotions and tricky behaviours, and this is some of Dan Hughes's work, a playful approach, flexible, as opposed to a serious approach. Playfulness is incredibly important. Children learn best through play. That ability will give something a go. Let's be flexible with the strategies. We'll give it a try for a week. An accepting approach, as opposed to expecting a certain outcome. That it is what it is, as opposed to it should be a certain way. Strategies done in this way, serious and with lots of shoulds, are more likely going to result in combat. A curious approach, where we ask, as opposed to a knowing approach, I know what's best for you, which will lead us to tell. A wondering, a curious approach. An approach where we have empathy. How can I relate to what my child is going through? So the strategy might be that if the kids leave their shoes in the lounge room, that you make them come down and pick them up. So that's a strategy, but if we do it in an empathetic way, how can I relate to what my kids have done? Have I ever left my shoes in the lounge room? Probably the answer is yes. Then you're going to put the strategy in place from a position of I can relate to them, as opposed to an approach where we're just annoyed, we're just preoccupied with ourselves, as if how could they have done that? I would never have done that. Well, then you're going to see them as some unusual, some odd, almost like an alien. You're more likely to approach this in an angry way. So this PACE approach, P-A-C-E, playful, accepting, curious, empathy, Dan Hughes's idea is that this is what makes strategies work. And in my experience, it would be true. You could add to this a cooperative approach. I'm trying to work with you as opposed to a combative approach, where I'm trying to dominate you, I'm trying to control you. Well, freedom. All good relationships are based on freedom as opposed to control. Now, of course, it's important to recognise that sometimes we have to be reptilian. Some things are serious. There are expectations. We do often know better. We should sometimes tell. We do sometimes get preoccupied. Some things are worth fighting over. Some things need control. So I'm not suggesting we never do it in this way. But if you have the option with a strategy, always move in this direction if you can. When it comes to strong emotions and tricky behaviours, that in many ways it's our business, not our problem. If we make our child's strong emotions and tricky behaviours our problem, then we're going to take it personally. Where if we just make it our business, well, they've done that and this is the outcome, then we're much less likely going to take it personally. Our love for our children is personal. Our affection for our children is personal. but they're unwanted behaviours, it's our business. And so broadly, this is the approach we take. And the more we can do it this way, then the less we'll enter this combative and often ends up avoidant approach.